You know we love checking out new cafes and restaurants here at New Day, and today is no exception. This morning we're doing a little wine tasting with a new all-day cafe in Pioneer Square called Parlour. There, Brendan Casey joins me now. Welcome to New Day.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we are going to be wine tasting today, but before we do, what is Parlour all about?
Parlour is all about having a lovely experience in the city, a place to spend time, whether it's in the morning, the midday, or afternoon. We have coffee during the day. You can relax and work on your laptop. You can come in the evening and have a glass of wine.
Gosh, so time-wise, when do you guys open and then close there in Pioneer Square?
We're open from 8 a.m. for coffee, and we're all the way through till dinner at 9 p.m.
Wow, oh my gosh, you really are all day. That's amazing. You brought some things that we need to dive in and try. So starting with a sparkling one first, right?
Yeah, here, this is a white wine coming from Austria, a big biodynamic farm called Klang. 2 beautiful grapes. And this has like super deep tropical fruit aromas, so like guava, passion fruit, that sort of thing.
Yes. I can taste like, it's like giving a little passion fruit.
Absolutely.
And the sparkling is kind of cool for this time of year, spring,
Ideal for
summer.
the first wine of the day, absolutely.
Oh, okay. I like it. Who knew? And where did you say this one was from again?
This is from Austria. It's 2 indigenous grape varietals from Austria.
Do you guys always have kind of a rotating menu too, or do you have your like tried and true wines?
Great question. We usually do have some kind of like tentpole wines that we always carry, some producers that we visited that we love, some wines like this that are farmed really well and are always super consistent and delicious.
Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. I'm never good with like pairings on like what I should pair this with food-wise, but it's giving spring, summer, I'm here for it. What is next? Look at this. Is this a rosé? It's kind of a darker.
So this is a beautiful rosé coming from Maremma, from coastal Tuscany. This is a producer we got to visit in 2022. Again, a biodynamic farm, so they're planting and harvesting in accordance with the cycles of the moon, so organic plus, basically. Carignan and Grenache, full-bodied and intense. Italian rosés are super for food.
What are like the notes that I should be like when I dive in and taste? Like, should I be tasting with something like this?
Yeah, I think you're tasting a little bit of cherry. There's definitely some cranberry, but in general, it's a really savory, textural rosé.
Ooh, I like that. That's different than any other rosé. I guess I tend to go to like maybe more sparkling or light. This feels a little more. It has a little more oomph to it.
Exactly. Most people think of rosé as the salmon pink Provence style rosé, but there's a whole world of variety in terms of the rosé category. So rosato, savory, plush, delicious.
Oh, do you have any ideas? I'm putting you on the spot of what you would pair something like this with?
This is something, again, you're probably having this with the first course. You're having it with maybe like anchovies and butter on toast. You could potentially be having this with the classic charcuterie board, some finocchione, some salami, that sort of thing.
Yum, okay. And third, we're moving right along. What is next for me here?
You're in a very clean and clear and crisp Loire Valley Muscadet from a classic producer. This you're having with like a roast chicken salad, an arugula salad, right before you dive into like the more intense part of a meal.
Okay, bottoms up. Let's try this. Ooh, light crisp. That might be my favorite.
All right.
What would this pair? So is this a Sauvignon? Like how would I go up? I guess if I'm not the best, like I'm a non-wine person, really. How do I explain what I want with something like this?
All right. You're asking your wine tender for a mineral-driven, crisp white wine. That'll take you away from like an oaky, intense wine, and you'll get closer to like a fresh sort of river water experience, like a mountain stream.
Ooh, okay. And it's nice that you can go up and actually just explain what you're looking for instead of maybe just saying, oh, I'll get a Sauvignon Blanc, because like you said earlier, can be so many different rosés, so many different options.
Exactly, and the bartender, they know what they have to serve you, so you need to give them an adjective rather than a specific grape, because they might have the correct grape, but it might not be the actual flavor you're looking for.
Fair enough. That is going to be hard to beat. What's next? So is this orange?
This is orange, yeah. So here you have a wine made with white fruit, but as you would a red wine. It's from Abruzzo, so the Adriatic side of northern Italy, Pecorino and Trebbiano.
Look at that bottle. That's trendy.
This is wild. This is the wildest of the bunch. Pretty bright. I think pretty delicious.
You do? Yeah. I don't know if okay, orange wine. Here we go. Sort of citrusy. I don't know, like a little tangy.
Definitely.
Am I getting that right?
Absolutely correct.
Okay.
Lemon zest, bright, vivacious, a little bit mouth-watering.
Goodness. Okay, yeah. And what would an orange wine like pair well with?
You could have this with like a butter and sage ravioli. Oh. You could have it with cacio e pepe, something that's like also bright and intense, but with a little cream to go against your citrusy notes in the wine.
That makes sense. Okay, that is surprising, but in a good way. That woke me up.
Yeah.
Okay, and last but certainly not least, I am definitely a red wine girly. So what do we have here?
Yeah, this is a category that everyone's talking about at this point in time, I think, and especially as we go from the fall into spring, chilled red. So
chilled red.
You're putting the wine in the refrigerator and serving it not quite at a like white wine temperature, but you're having it relatively cold. And you want a medium-bodied red wine with good acidity. It's for a red wine drinker on a hot day.
Well, I guess that is always the problem, because you're like, I want my red wine, but not when it's like 90 degrees outside. So this is it. As I taste this, what notes should I be expecting with this one?
It's Nero d'Avola from Sicily, so you're tasting a little bit of black pepper. You're tasting a little bit of cranberry and some, again, bright fruit that shines through the cold temperature of the wine.
I am getting the black pepper. I kind of love when like someone that's an expert, like you can tell me like, what should I be like? And then you're like, yes, I am tasting that. Wow, you have a lot of favorites for me down here. And really fast too, you have another location. It's the Pioneer Square one, but then there's one more. Where?
Yes, we opened a shop in 2021 in Madison Park, right by the tennis courts, over by the lake, and now we're on the other side of the water here down in Pioneer Square.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here. We so appreciate it.